Hey, this is Dr. Barry. In this short video, I want to talk to you about something that's very important to young adults and teenagers, and that's acne. Acne is a multi-billion dollar industry, and it really shouldn't be. There are billions of dollars made off of you and your loved ones every year by big pharma and by big corporations and even by big food trying to tell you, oh, eat this, use this, slather this on your skin, and it'll make your acne magically go away. Well, a lot of that's crap, and that's what I want to talk about in today's video. So if this sounds like something that your child or your sibling or you would like to hear about, please hit the share button. Share this on your social media. If you share this on Facebook, you can potentially help hundreds of people with their acne so that they don't have to spend thousands of dollars a year or even thousands of dollars a month in some cases. Acne can really affect your self-esteem, so share this and help me help more people. Also, maybe consider clicking the subscribe button down there so that every time I get a bright idea, you'll be one of the very first people to know. Now, let's talk about acne. First of all, let's talk about some theory behind acne. I really want you to understand the theory behind everything I'm about to tell you. Oh, and at the end of the video, I'm going to tell you about a great anti-acne smoothie that you can make and have every morning for breakfast if you have breakfast. Okay, so an anti-acne smoothie coming at the end of the video. I'll give you the little ingredients that my teenage daughters use when they make it. Okay, now, first of all, theory. Your face is not dirty. A lot in a big corporations and big pharma, they want you to think your face is filthy, okay? But your face is not dirty. You don't need to scrub and wash your face and put harsh chemicals on your face. And I tell kids in my clinic, if it stinks or burns, don't put it on your face. Your face is very fragile. And if you scrub it and irritate it with chemicals, even if they're for acne, then you risk irritating the skin and that can lead to even more acne. And a lot of people think, oh, if it stinks or burns, it must be doing something good, right? But that's uniformly false. Don't ever put anything harsh on your face. You don't have to do that, I promise, okay? Secondly, your hands, however, are filthy. Try to never touch your face with unwashed hands, okay? Your hands at any given moment are harboring billions of bacteria, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but they're bacteria that should be on your hands, not necessarily bacteria that should be on your face. Your face has its own microbiome of bacteria that are good, that should be there. That's another reason that washing it all the time or scrubbing it with harsh chemicals is bad, because you can disrupt the bacterial balance and allow a mean bacteria to get on board, and that can actually lead to more acne as well. Okay. Now, the third theoretical thing I want you to understand is the barn story. Say I've got this old barn out on my farm, right? And the roof's falling in and it's just not looking good. Now, if I went and bought some really expensive $1,000 paint and put on my barn, would that magically make my barn brand new and sparkly and perfect? No, that would be silly, right? Well, the same thing holds for your face. On average, putting things on your face is a uniform waste of money. The skin that you already have there is already made, right? And it was made of what you eat. That's right. It was made of what you have eaten over the last 3 months. And so if you're proud of what you've eaten over the last 3 months, you should probably have pretty good skin. If, however, you're not proud of what you've eaten over the last 3 months, you may have some trouble with acne, eczema, or other skin conditions. So don't think that the more expensive stuff, oh, this cost $100 a bottle, that'll have to clear up acne, right? No, no, that is a marketing gimmick to get your money, okay? None of that stuff works. They all have their tiny little chemical or clinical trial that shows that it cures acne, but that's ridiculous. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Your acne is all about your skin health, what you've built your skin out of, your hormones and your hormone status, and eating the right diet will also help balance your hormones. And so, two ways a good diet will help your acne, right? Okay, now let's next talk about food. What should you eat? What should you absolutely avoid? And this is where 80% of your benefits are going to come in, okay? So I want you to really focus on this part. What should you absolutely avoid to make your acne better, make your acne go completely away? You want to avoid anything that's inflammatory in nature or that spikes your insulin, because that also inflames all your body tissues, right? The first and foremost thing I want you to avoid, and this is hard if you're a teenager or a young adult, is sugar. You've got to stop the sugar. I'm sorry. I know it tastes good. I know it's tasty, but it will absolutely flare up your acne. You've got to cut drastically back on the sugar and sweetened drinks and sweetened foods and adding sugar to anything that has to stop. Unless you're happy with your acne, then you can just eat all the sugar you want and you'll have even more acne. The next is grains. You've got to stop the grains or at least drastically reduce them. All grains have chemicals in them that cause inflammation. That's how they fight because grains don't want to be eaten just like you don't want to be eaten. And so they have chemicals in them that cause toxic effects in the body of animals that eat them. Okay. That's why, at least I'm told by farmers, if you turn some cattle into a wheat field, they'll stomp around in there and maybe munch a little bit, but then they'll turn around and go right back to the grassy pasture. They don't like eating grains or corn unless they're force fed that in the feedlot. So don't eat grains, and that would be wheat, right? That would be corn, that would be rice, that would be oats. None of those are good for your face. None of those you want to build your skin from, okay? Because they lead to increased acne outbreaks and increased severity of acne you already have. The next is drinking milk. And I know you've probably been told 1,000 times milk does a body good, milk mustache, blah, 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 blah. Milk has one purpose, cow milk, right? And that is to help a baby cow gain 1,000 pounds in a year. Now, if you want to gain weight and have more acne and other inflammatory body problems, keep drinking milk. Otherwise, I'd leave it alone. Now, it's fine to eat a good grass fed butter because all of the milk protein and all of the milk sugar has been removed. It's just a good fat, right? Also, heavy cream's not bad. If you have to drink something white and dairy, I would drink heavy cream. And I love that. I sometimes put some nuts in there and it's really a tasty treat. But try to never, ever, ever drink or eat foods that contain skim milk, 0.5% milk, 1% milk, 2% milk, or even whole milk. You want higher fat dairy than that. Full fat cheeses are also fine, but you want them to be full fat and not shredded at the store or sliced at the store. You want to do that when you get home, and that way you know you're getting just pure whole fat cheese. Okay, now the next huge thing is you've got to get vegetable oils out of your diet. Vegetable oils are canola oil, corn oil, soybean oil, sunflower oil. You can eat sunflowers, but don't use the oil for cooking, okay? But the big ones are canola, corn, and soybean. You've got to stop eating things that are fried in those oils. You've got to stop ever using any product that has corn oil, safflower oil, canola oil. Those are not good for you, okay? You cannot, they will inflame your gut and that'll inflame your face and that'll lead to more acne, okay? So even though they're called vegetable oils, they have no vegetables in them. They're made from seeds and beans. You got to get those out of your diet. You got to use a good fat. If you're going to fry something, fry it in lard, fry it in butter, fry it in avocado oil. If you're going to cook at very low temperatures, use olive oil. But otherwise, you can't use any of those vegetable oils or they will break out your face. True story. So you want to use the good fats in your cooking. You want to use good fats. And so if you're about to eat some kind of prepackaged thing that you got out of a cardboard box, you got to read the label. And if it has any of those oils, if it has sugar, or if it has any of those grains, it's going to make your acne worse. Okay. And so basically anything that comes in a cardboard box, it's going to make your acne worse just about every single time. Okay. So the next thing is you can eat some veggies, eat good cruciferous veggies. And if you don't like them, I promise that if you keep trying them with different ways, like broccoli, like cauliflower, like Brussels sprouts, like asparagus, like kale, like spinach, eat them as raw as you can or lightly steamed. You can put salt, pepper, you can put garlic, you can put onion, you can put all the spices and salt that you want to make them taste good, but you can eat those and they're fine for you. A lot of experts think that the antioxidants they contain actually help your skin, and that may be true. But you need to avoid underground vegetables and you need to avoid starchy vegetables because they're going to increase your insulin level. They turn immediately into sugar quickly, and that's going to spike your insulin, and that's going to inflame your system, and blah, 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 back to acne again. Okay? Does that make sense? Now let's talk about some supplements you can use that will probably make your acne better. And I don't want you to focus all your attention on this. This is the 10%, right? I want you to focus on the food. That's where 80% of your acne improvement is going to come from. 10% will come from these supplements. So you can do these if you have time and have money, but do not ignore the food recommendations to do the supplements, okay? The first one is a good quality probiotic. You want to take this every day. You do not want to buy a probiotic from the big box stores, right? Walmart, Target, Kmart, I don't know, all the big grocery stores, because they usually are made in China. And so you really probably want to avoid that. You want to get a good quality probiotic from a trusted source like a health food store or from a pharmacy is a locally owned pharmacy that you trust the pharmacist, right? Those folks won't steer you wrong. Next is zinc. A lot of people notice that if they'll take 25 to 50 milligrams of zinc every day, their acne gets better. Zinc is also good for you in hundreds of other ways, and a lot of people, maybe even you, are deficient in zinc, so it won't hurt you one bit to take a little zinc supplement every day. The next is vitamin D, one of my favorite things to talk about. Almost everybody in the US and Canada and the UK is deficient in vitamin D, okay? And I've seen multiple times in my clinic when a teenager or a young adult starts taking anywhere from 2,000 to 5,000 international units of vitamin D3 a day, their acne either gets a little bit or a lot of bit better. Okay, so vitamin D is a big deal, and you're probably deficient anyway, so it wouldn't hurt a thing. And the final one is a good quality omega-3 oil, okay, a supplement that comes in a gel cap. You can get these very cheaply, and often they're adulterated and not really good for you, and they're rancid, and they're just inflammatory in that case. So if you're going to get an omega-3, spend a little extra money and buy a very trusted brand so that you know you're getting a good quality omega-3 fatty acid, and that's a pretty good supplement too. Now, are you ready to hear about the anti-acne smoothie? All right, here it is. I have 3 teenage daughters, and they love this smoothie. So it's gonna be, and so if you don't have a magic bullet, you need a magic bullet because you can make a smoothie in literally 2 minutes and then drink it out of the very thing you made it in. And we've been using the magic bullet in our kitchen for 5, 6, 7 years. I love the things. I bought the first one when you can only buy them on TV. But now you can get them at the big box stores, and we always have one still in the box in reserve because about every 2 or 3 years you'll burn out the motor and you'll have to get a new one. But so in your magic bullet, you're going to put unsweetened coconut milk, right? You're going to put, if you want to put a tablespoon or two of a good oil in there to get some omega-3s, that's a good idea. You're going to put some a raw egg or two, and you always want to look at the shell and make sure it's not cracked at all. That way you know it's safe to put that egg. I promise, I promise, I promise. Calm down. You can't taste the egg. You can't even tell it's in there when you're done with the smoothie, okay? The next thing is put some chia seeds in there. It gives it the coolest little texture. My daughters love doing that. Also, you can put a handful of raw spinach leaves, baby spinach leaves in there, and it will turn your smoothie green, but I promise you cannot taste the spinach at all. The first time I did that, Madison, my oldest daughter, freaked out. She's like, "Why is my smoothie green?" I said, "Don't worry about it. Just drink it." And she did, and she loved it. Then I told her after she drank it, it had spinach, that she just had a serving of raw spinach in there, and full of antioxidants, full of nutrients, full of all the great stuff that's in raw spinach leaves. Now she does it that way herself when she makes a smoothie. Another thing you can put is a small handful of raw blueberries or raw blackberries. They're pretty low on the glycemic index, and they also have lots of good nutrients and antioxidants. Another thing, a trick you can do if you don't want to dilute your smoothie with ice is freeze the blueberries, freeze the blackberries, and then when you throw them in there, they're like nutrient-filled little ice cubes, and they give you all the flavor and don't dilute the smoothie at all. Okay, so that's the anti-acne smoothie. Feel free to share that with any teenager you know who has to have breakfast every morning, because when I was a teenager, I had to have breakfast or I felt like the day wasn't even started right. And that's a great walk out the door smoothie that you can have ready in 2 minutes, and just take the container you made it in right with you on the way to school or whatever. Now, you can also put a little squirt of stevia in there if it's just not sweet enough, or a little squirt of monk fruit extract. Those are both great sweeteners that are not going to give much of an insulin response at all and make it very sweet. And, some teenagers like their smoothies to be super sweet, and that's a way to do it without any added sugar whatsoever. Okay. Now, if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more like it, please subscribe, of course. But also, if you want to help me make more videos like this to help more people, I have a Patreon link down below. You can click it and go there. It's quick and easy to sign up, and you can throw me a buck or two and give me more time to make more videos just like this. This is Dr. Barry, and I will see you next time.